Yeah, mic check. We're good.
Okay.
And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, and what is it? Kick. Don't. We got Facebook today too. Okay, and Facebook. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
Cat baby.
And today we have a very special guest. We've actually been trying to get him on the show for a little bit. I'm going to have Anthony, I'm going to have you introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them a little about who you are and what you do.
My name is Anthony L. Fernandez. I'm an actor, and I have been a professional actor for the better part of a decade. I think it's been like 11 years now since I got my union status. It was probably another 3 or 4 years to just break into the business working background and non-union, and it's been a ride. I have worked on a lot of shows and film and television, and most recently this last year, I am the Modelo recruiter on the college football campaign. The commercials, it's been beautiful. And we just
They're racist, man. They're racist for that. I'm just playing.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
How'd you get into that, though? That's dope, dude.
You know what? It's grinding because, to tell you the truth, my career has been more film and television. I had a few successes with commercials, but honestly, it was always like starting out was the tough guy. So, and even when they'd send me out for like the dad, I would get as clean cut as I could and the smile and. But, you know, it just, your lane is your lane, and all those years later, you just go to them. It doesn't matter. You get used to going to them, whether you get the role or not. And so that's how I always lived. Like, I'm going to get one of these. And so it came up. It was a fun read. I didn't think too much of it, and it turned out to, after like a lot of work, a lot of callbacks, it turned out to be in the stars for me, so. Grateful.
You got that player voice. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like,
I was just going to say, do you think it's your voice that like determines also the roles you get? Because
a lot of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that like beer commercial or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Modelo.
Yeah.
And half of that. And it's been a goal of mine. I want to be a character actor. So it's like to use the voice, to experience different characters, not always play the stereotypes. So with the Modelo recruiter, I was like, well, I'm not going to lean into the Chicano or the Spanish accent, whatever they think it is. I said I'm going to lean more into like a Sam Elliott because I just like playing. I like characters. So the Modelo recruiter came out. And, you know, it's been fun because it fit the character. He's a little cowboy. He's a little sport. He gets to represent the college football fans of college football, and I've had fun representing that. And then it takes the pressure off, too. In Hollywood, you know, I always say we're like car salesmen. You're only as good as your last sale. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, oh, man, you did great in this and great in that. What are you working on right now? What are you doing now? And you got to stay creative. The auditions always come in. I always stay working. We were fortunate enough to have multiple years right now. But it affords you a little bit of leeway in what you choose to work on and not always having to grind because a lot of times it takes a long time in between before you're on set. But we came out with horchata with oat milk at the right time. It was beautiful. We worked hard on that one, and it was a great comedy. So still hitting film and television. I'm still pounding the pavement with auditions and, you know, like everyone else. But the right things always come. I used to sit there like, why don't they like me? What am I doing wrong in the beginning stages? But now I like taking my time.
So we were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and we were talking about how the Hispanics, Mexican culture, they're taking over, man.
Yeah.
They're taking over we're around the same age. So we've seen a lot, like what's going on, how the Hispanic culture is. Why are you laughing? Don't be laughing, all right? So yeah.
I agree.
So like we've never taken over like this, where all social media, from podcasts to rappers to actors. Like I feel like the Hispanics are like finally getting that like front roll type stuff. You know,
Absolutely.
how do you feel about that? Like, what have you seen, and how do you feel about it?
It's just a good time to represent. It's not an easy one though, too, because there's a lot that still we have to fight against, and you don't realize that.
It's groundbreaking. It's what it is. It's nobody's really done it before, other than like Telemundo and Univision, and you know. But all of that is very like stereotypical. It's not really. It doesn't always fit into like the Chicano, which is us.
Absolutely.
Know? And then now we're doing it, so it is kind of hard. But no, you guys are doing it on a higher scale. And I actually got a chance to talk to Chicano Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he's just pumped about it too. It's about bringing the culture out and involving as many of us as we can, you know?
And you realize how big and diverse we are and strong together. And I always say the story or tell the story that if it was anyone else at any other time, I don't think that Chicano Hollywood would have been the force that it has. Johnny is that dad or that grandfather figure. They came to do something good in the entertainment industry. And I just think like sometimes if it was the wrong age or the wrong kind of person, people were like, that guy. But we all got behind him. It was a beautiful thing. It was birthed right around the time we had started making filming on Horchata. And a lot of things have come from that, from music. I mean, it's really encompassed all of us.
It's wild. It really is wild to me, dude. Like, I think it's just, so I feel like a lot of people have always liked our culture, right? They've always loved the lowriders. I mean, it was always something, you know?
Sure.
But they never put it out on anything besides what we saw, right? You never seen it the way we see it now. Well, yeah, it's just crazy, though, that...
That's right.
But I've never seen it
you
like
have
this.
to decide that, right?
I'm mixed, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, my mom's from Monteflores.
Yeah.
My mom's gangster as fuck, right?
Yeah.
My dad... He was from Lomas. Like, all of them were, I grew up all around. My grandma was from Hazard. Like, that's how my whole culture was, right?
Yeah.
So I seen all that growing up. But, like, you never seen it, like, glorified. I'm not saying it was should have been, like, gangs or whatever, but I'm saying the Mexican culture was never really glorified.
No, I think it was just commonplace.
Yeah.
Because just like we make fun of now, but it was like grandmothers were like, oh, my baby, he's not a cholo.
Yeah, yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong. When I was in high school, which was back in like 2006 and like 2005 and 2004, it was kind of the thing. I remember being a cholita and it being about the like brown pride and listening to Little Rob and listening to Capone and like Little Tweety, all these guys those are just the ones I like because I'm a girl. But there's more like in-depth like gangster rappers, you know?
Sure.
And I think that the attempt was made around that time. And it wasn't even an attempt. It's just that we've always kind of been that culture, you know?
Yeah.
But because it was kind of gang related, it kind of got put on the back burner versus now the way that everything is coming out is more culture. It's more beautiful. Even the car show scenes, like the back in the day festival, was more based on like unity.
Yeah.
And of course, all kinds of cholos and cholas showed up. That's just the vibe. But it was like, it wasn't about that. It was beautiful.
Well,
it was like the fact that we can do everything.
Yeah.
There was vendors, there was car shows, there was dogs, there was the bikini contest. There was a bunch of performers. A lot of them weren't even, well, some of them aren't even Hispanic, and they were there just showing love, you know?
Yeah.
Standing
Well,
by
you know,
us.
I think I changed a lot. Is like, honestly, like, people are just kind of different now. Like back in the 90s and all that. Like, dude, all those shows ended with fights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Or
it was real.
shootings
It
or
was
something
real.
like that.
Yeah.
Now everybody's like a lot more like, I mean, how can you say it? Soft a little bit, which is good, a good thing in a sense,
Yeah.
because now we're not ending with fights.
We
like
don't
crazy
have to be.
fights. Yeah,
We're
we
finding
don't have
out
to
a
be.
little bit more about our minds.
Yeah, yeah.
And other people, most importantly, I think we've always known that we're the shit. But I think that now other people are starting to see that that there's an art to us here.
I was
There's
just going to
it's an
say,
art.
I agree, because
There's
that's
culture
almost
behind it.
full circle. What you were saying is that it shows the power now.
Mhm.
The difference is it shows the power in the world. You know, to see like some of the guys in Japan, and they have the lowrider culture over there, and
They
so,
do.
oh yeah,
I didn't even know that.
They will be bankers, whatever, regular workers, whatever it is. But on the weekends, a lot of them will, you know, slick their hair back. They fix up the old cars. So we influence a lot.
That's dope. Yeah.
And we do push a lot of weight. So right now more than ever, because I think back in the day, it's just the commercial door wasn't open to us. The market wasn't open. And you're right. It's always been a happy balance of where they love everything about the culture, all the way down even to the women, but they don't want anything else to do
What do you
with ownership of said culture.
What do you want to see a couple years, at least maybe 2-3 years from now, with what's going on with this whole culture, with how it's moving in entertainment, music, podcast, everything? What do you want to see? Like, what would that what would you want to see from that?
The door is wide open right now, and I love it. So I would just like to see us in more roles of success to prove. I don't want to look back in a couple of years and people have the reason to say, "Oh well, see, we told you so. This is why you guys can't do that. This is why that's too much money to give you guys."
We don't want it to burn down.
Yeah, look,
burn out.
Because they do it all the time. They'll give somebody the and it rides on the one show. They'll give someone the power to be a showrunner, to be in command, producer, but like it has to be successful in a different way, or we're never going to try that again. And all these years later, you have to wait for classics that we already knew were beautiful, had beautiful scenes, beautiful writing, beautiful acting, like Blood In, Blood Out, to get the proper respect in the mainstream it deserves.
He's completely right, because that's one of the best movies ever made.
It was.
Blood In, Blood Out is literally one of the best movies.
It's like a history lesson too. If you don't know the Chicano culture and what LA is all about,
Yes.
it's not like what it's all about, but where it kind of developed that hardness that a lot of us walk around with, because that's how we grew up, So yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, the points of view too. It's like the character development for everybody is all the way down to the half and half. There's a lot of güeros in a lot of neighborhoods, and a lot of people identify with this character.
Yeah, that's completely right, man. Like, 'cause I'm mixed, right? So I grew up different, where I wasn't Mexican enough, and I wasn't obviously not white enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I grew up. So everything was a little different for me. I'd be fighting in all the schools of Mexicans, and the white schools I would be fighting too, because I would always go back. It's a long story, but I went back and forth, right?
Yeah.
But I would always have to fight, because I was like, nobody's gonna be talking shit to me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like back then, because we grew up in the same era.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So back then, it was more like, dude, don't talk shit. You know what I mean?
We had nothing but time. There was less information. The pace was slow.
And we were gonna show you what we can do.
We have time to get down.
Yeah. And that's what it was about anyways, but not even then. It's like we wanted to, but we just felt like we didn't have a choice.
Sure.
Like we got to do
well,
this.
And the machismo thing was way bigger.
Yeah.
It was like literally that's how it was. Now we're like, more you can cry, you can express yourself, but back then it was not like that.
Dude, you couldn't even walk down the street and somebody would look at you like, what,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
You had to
right
be
there.
tough, complete tough.
Like that quick.
Yeah.
It was that quick, man. So being in
Girls would literally paint their eyebrows to be mad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So being an actor, how long have you been an actor for then?
So total, it has to be close to 15 years. And
Okay,
I studied for like 3 before.
Okay, so being the age you are with, like, around my era, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was it, like, transitioning into that? Because I know that had to have been hard, being Mexican, being the culture, being, like to transition and like, your boys, and like, how did that work out? Like, what was
All
it?
right.
Tell me a little bit. Like,
So-
let's hear this.
For me, it was different. I wasn't raised in a traditional Mexican household. So, like you, my mom was blonde hair and blue eyes.
Okay.
To doozy one more, by the time I was a teenager, most of my friends were black. So
Okay.
it wasn't, and I know how the 90s were.
Yeah,
A couple good characters and Menace maybe, and just enough sometimes not to be called out in the group as the Mexican.
Yeah.
So let's just fast forward. What weaned me off the streets, because I got in my worst year, probably dealing drugs and just running with, it wasn't just gang stuff. It was like with criminals. And so I just slanged to somebody. The trap house dude is slamming dope into his toes. And I'm like, what am I doing here? So like 19, I left from where I was at and I came back down for the last time. 99 is when I started bouncing at the boogie we were talking about. I found myself over with my best buddy. I brought him down, and we got a job bouncing at the boogie. It kind of weaned me off of the streets because we still fought every night. It was party. It was everything we wanted. We were making money, so we set up a music studio. I had the bald head, tattooed up. My whole mentality was different than it is now. And then 2006, they closed the club. Same year, I have a new baby on the way, stepson. And then all the money, sort of went slower. And bouncing wasn't what it was anywhere else. I was a manager. I was making all kind of money. And so I kind of slowly went down for a while, and I was like, okay, I got to do something because I've always been a hustler. I've always been the kind like the people you'll want to be around me. I'll figure something out. We'll eat. We'll eat. So I went back to college. The nearest one I was at that time was Cypress College in Orange County. And I went for a business degree, white flag. I gave up, let me be a regular working Joe. I had never been in my life. No one told me what to do. I tried a couple, just can't do it. And so I ended up taking acting as an elective, and I needed it. As a man, my spirit was broken down. My confidence was broken down. I still drank and partied a lot. Even for being a new dad, it took me a long time.
Well, why was your spirit broken down?
I had closed the studio. I had been, we worked on music. I lived the dream, so to speak, from what it was to be in your 20s. And then I had to figure out, well, the guy that never had to take a regular job or humble himself enough to support a family now has to do that and figure it out, because I'm also of the mentality of I'm a hustler. It's
Well,
me
you were
over
basically
everybody.
an entrepreneur, and then you had to get a 9 to 5, and that kind of broke you.
Yeah, because
I
the
understand.
credit was good, money, the racks were in the safe. You just underestimate what it's like to take care of a family.
Yeah. Completely
And it just
understandable,
slowly
man.
goes. And I'm enough of a hustler to know I'm not thinking about right now. I'm thinking about next month. If this is going like this, what's the point of being on a sinking ship, whether it's slow or quick?
Mm-hmm.
So I got it together, and I was like, well, I'm doing this for me. And it also helped because years of being in the streets and running around and playing your character, whoever it was you invented to keep you safe, and then having to back that up physically and, just through the headache, you realize it's like, this is for me. This is reconnecting me to feelings that we push down.
But let's get into that, though.
Yeah, let's get into
Because what you just said right now is crazy. We can't just let that pass by. You said being a character that you had to invent just to basically survive.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Because honestly, I don't think a lot of people understand that, because everything is so soft now.
Yeah.
But like, who was this character? Why did you have to invent him? What was the reason for survival for this character? Because this is you as a person living your life. Like, talk about that.
I think it just comes from whatever you feel like you were weak as a child, or whatever well, for me, it was just whatever I finally started being upset at, being scared of, or have fear from. So in my personality, it kind of, much like a lot of homies in the streets, you start running towards whatever it is that scares you. And sometimes that's crazy. So the character I invented is just the one that finally dealt with whatever fear it was. I grew up, my mom was always starting over. It's not this place, it's that place. We're going to live here. So I saw a lot of characters. I saw, I lived back east for a little bit when I was young growing up. Saw a lot of different places, a lot of different people. It's kind of all the same hustle, but you grow up quick. You make a lot of friends in a lot of different places. And that becomes part of who you are. So for some reason, the mind was always there as a kid. I was a little more educated. I got some of the homies that are just kind of like smash. I love them to death, but you can't really float like that, So it was a strength of mine, and I just survived. It's like survival. You're a hustler, survive. And so that's what you do. And that's what I did. So the character I invented is Swin. I never liked it because nobody's like swindler. And I was like, try telling people like, oh, trust me. Yeah, like that swindler. So I went by Swin for years.
Dang. Okay, so
That's crazy because I kind of made a character too. Like the last show we were on with the Jewish lady, she said something, or you guys said what was that? What clicked? I actually made up Cat Baby too, just to get just to do the OnlyFans, just to like put that in the back of my mind and like convince myself that it was okay, and that totally makes sense. We make up these characters out of survival mode, just to survive, so that way we don't have to be like, oh, well, the real me wouldn't do that, but I can't be that person right now. Right now, I'm this person.
Yeah.
because it's a business thing or whatever, you know?
Do you ever think though sometimes like you don't really know who the real you is because like put it like this, right? I have kids. I'm different with them. I have business. I'm different with that. Like with women, I'm different with them. I don't. Do you really know who you are sometimes? Like do you
Yeah.
get lost in the
No.
sauce? Like you know
It's,
what I'm saying?
it's unapologetic because it's you find what it is and you don't have to worry about that. When your mind finally is at ease, I'm all of that.
You're at, oh yeah, okay.
I always say I'm comfortable with my masculinity, but now I can dance around and act a fool, and it's not hurting my ego. I can still stand up and be a provider and a protector, and I can still give somebody a hug and give them love when they need to. So it actually saved me. I always looked at some of the people when we were in acting classes, and they would be like shifting their weight, trying to get through a delivery. And I found out that, like, for me, it's like that's the electric. That's whatever it is that's uncomfortable, what's bouncing around inside you. So when I got to recite things off of refreshed emotions that I could now use as the outlet, that's why that sort of goes out of you. That's the energy. That's what you produce.
That's the adrenaline you feel.
Absolutely. And I loved it because it wasn't rap. It was, I didn't need a studio. I didn't need a mic. I didn't need a beat. I didn't need anything. It was just me, my instrument, going into the room, and I can take that with me anywhere. And it was therapeutic, too, because I needed it. And it was in reverse because I had so much experience and started older that now I work at that point when I broke in because I can be terrifying and you're safe. And then it's just learning all the other things because I have, at that point, new kids. I'm learning.
Do you like that you had to go through all that? Like, because that era is different. There's no way that these kids are going to even understand the era that we grew up in, right? Do you like that you went through that? You feel like that made you a different person? Like you see more than what most people see now? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Absolutely. And it's my journey, and I don't think anyone else should want to, like, glorify it or try and emulate. It was really dangerous in the 90s when we grew up. It was shoot 'em up. It was kind of dumb. I realized there were right causes in there, but we got lost in the sauce because of how many of us there were. When you're younger, you think that your
You're
clique is the
invincible, too.
coldest. Yeah, they can protect you from anything, and it's really not. Sometimes people forget about you. Sometimes they stay loyal. There's some of those hoods where,
Dude, a lot of
man,
people
they stay together. They go to jail. Like, the people will be there and put money on their books. Other crews and cliques, no.
Dude, a lot of people died for no reason.
No reason.
For a block. Like, that was crazy.
I
think
still
about
have
that
guys.
all the time.
The whole time, it's a reflection because the whole time my old crew, there's a few of them left, but the course of when I changed myself and started doing my thing, they still dropped like flies. There's one homie, Money. He was a felon. I had no idea. I heard kind of what happened, but then I'm like, what were you doing in the park with this after dark and this to create a situation? And it's happened like that all the way every year while I'm gaining all this traction. I'm working on these amazing shows with these actors I grew up watching. My career is elevating, and even up till recently, one of my best friends, younger brother, who was my best friend in reflection because he was always there, he just passed away. And I think that was, I don't want to say what that was, but,
I'm sorry to hear
it was
that.
on that side of the track still.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, I could be right there.
Yeah. How did they take you acting? Like, when you started doing that, they get all like, oh, he's out. Huh? He's doing his thing.
Yeah, they love it.
In a sense, it's like if he can do it. I mean, if dreams come true for, like, some people, they can come true for other people. I think so. I think depending on the perspective, it, like, motivates people that grew up alongside of you. That's like, oh, snap, look, he's in the movie. I went to school with him.
Yeah. And I'm sure, on some level, I'm sure you guys get that, right?
Yeah.
People that see your show and like, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, people show support.
Yeah,
I love that.
And that's cool. I love that too. It's just, it's always like, sometimes you just don't understand it though. Like you're just like, dang, like sometimes I feel like you're just so in the moment, you're not realizing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're just like,
It's the walk.
boom, like you're just moving forward the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you get that part too.
You can turn around and lose years. sometimes.
That's what I feel like is kind of going on.
Yeah.
You know?
And there was a year or two here or there where I'm sure it was 1 or 2 jobs. It could have been 50 auditions, but the 1 or 2 jobs were amazing jobs, bigger jobs. I'm just blessed, and I try and keep it there because you're always in a constant state in entertainment of saying that, we're better than the competition, but we're no better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And it can get hard sometimes, but you just reflect on everyone that isn't here for us, like the people that we remember, everyone that roots for us, no matter what we decide to do with our lives. It's always those people that kind of keep you going.
Yeah, he's right on that for sure. It is. We got a lot of people in the chat. I'm going to have you read some of the chat, though, Kat. Let's go.
All right,
Get the chat, guys. So get ready.
Get the chat.
Echoes World. We have Echoes World. Hey, what's up,
What's up,
Jeff?
Echoes World? What's going on?
We have the popcorn. He's watching. And then Mad Blunt Smoke 420. Yo. And then we have Animation Kid.
What up?
Hey, Kat. Hi. How are you guys? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And then we have Mad Blunt Smoked 420 Facts. And then we have Chris Leva with the little hands.
Horchata with oat milk.
Yes, sir. So then we have a big L's 27. Good stuff, my brother. See you soon at the film festival.
Yeah.
Hey. And then from Big Izzy. That's who that was.
All right.
All right. Then we have Cruz Gutierrez. Hey, Kat, what's up? What's up, baby girl?
You got
Shout
your
out
own
to this
fans,
beauty
huh?
queen. Hey, what's up? Oh, I do have a lot of people on here. Angel of Life, the beautiful cat, butterfly cat. Hey, what's up? Jessica Lucero. Damn, I need glasses, y'all. Oh, okay, hold on. Then we got Jessica Lucero. Anthony is an amazing human. Yes, he is. Shout out to Jessica Lucero. And then Big L's 27, Raza Rising in the house. Oh, that's who that is.
Raza
What's
Rising.
up?
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
Those dudes
What's
are
up?
dope. They're always supporting us on social media. Man.
Echoes World, my guy Anthony, Big L's.
Come on.
Yes, a big saludos to Jacob, Kat, and Anthony. Thanks for stopping by at the concert the other night. Good to see you guys there. It was great to see you guys there too.
Yeah,
it was
appreciate
awesome.
you.
We enjoyed it.
You got to get you on, man. It's time.
Yes, when you're ready, let me know so I can schedule you in.
Come on.
Echoes World. Shout out to the homie Kat. What's up, Echo? Sheesh.
That was 3 shout outs, Kat.
It's
That's
because
3 from him.
I'm just kidding. Big L's 27,
Swoop
Chicano
to
Hollywood
Echoes
Film
World.
Festival in July 17th, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that. I actually met you at the Horchata with Oat Milk movie premiere.
Yes.
And I was like, the voice was just like, you were the Debo per se.
Did you get a little
That
like?
was fun.
No, yeah, I actually did it. I actually did as I was walking
like,
out.
damn.
I was all partying, like tirando chancla, having fun, dancing.
It was a crazy night.
Yeah.
It was party central.
At the after party,
Yes.
that's when when I was leaving, I saw him and I was like, dude, do the voice. And he did the voice.
Yeah.
His
Spider.
yes, because he played the like bully.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Of the
good but
movie?
bad.
I
Yeah.
want to hear this. I want to hear this voice.
He wishes he could be better. He wishes he could be better.
Like
But he's not. He just has a couple of, some goons that help him out. So sometimes he's really cool.
Are you
And
down?
he starts getting upset. Are you down or not? Because I need to know, because we got to go steal Nana's car by 6. If you're down.
You my burn.
Yeah. No,
And
that
then-
was fun.
Yeah, so we also got asked to do the film festival,
Yeah.
17, 18, and 19, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any projects coming up that are going to be featured at the film festival?
I'm not sure right now. I believe they may be having a showing of Addicted to You. I'm not 100 on that. I will check. And then right now it's just been working on Modelo. I just got back from I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but that's where we filmed.
He got
it.
back from out the
It
country.
was like the motherland, it was amazing. The most I have been out is TJ to kick it before.
Nice.
But it was just beautiful to be out with such such a direct line to it. Like we were talking about earlier, is the identity, and I was even saying earlier, you have to choose. And I made the decision because it did make sense. I'm Chicano.
Yeah.
I'm Chicano.
Yeah.
And so down there, they understand. I understood it ahead of time where they won't call you Mexican. You're American. So it's like, but you have Mexican sangre in you. So it's like your blood. So my descendancy, and I was proud to be from there. And I have heard stories from my grandmother who had passed as to what we are. And so you
And the struggles of getting here, am I right?
Oh, my gosh. Or being here and getting removed and having to come back, or any number of
Yeah,
scenarios.
because they
you could
can't
think
keep
of.
us out. We're coming back.
Yeah. But no, I'm proud. And it was a great trip. I got to see Teotihuacan, the Mayan temples. It does something to you. So, you know what? We have a film that I don't believe will be at that one coming out, which is Burner's Flick, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But
The one that you did mention, what is it called again?
Addicted to You.
It
Have
sounds
you got
like
a chance
different.
to see that yet?
No, and I actually was gonna ask you. It sounds like a different type of storyline. What kind of a storyline
It's
are
a
we talking?
multiple award.
Look at you get all happy.
It's 'cause
So,
it
who's
sounds-
it? So can you be addicted to me?
It's interesting. No. It's interesting to just see how people can like chameleon and like just morph into different characters to play different roles. You know, because I saw him as Spider.
Yeah.
You know, and then the Modelo guy is kind of fitting. You know, so talk to us a little bit of just without telling me too much, because I hate trailers. Like, don't spoil the story, but like.
Well, Addicted to You is a multiple award-winning short film. My actor, and co-star, and the executive producer Sonia Balcazar starred in it with me, and it is, I call it a snapshot in the most emotional part of a relationship, where it really is that time to decide whether to cut it based off of addictions and habits and past indiscretions, and it picks up right there. It was a beautiful film. It's won many awards, but if you saw it, was the thing, and I love that, because there's been a great buzz, and all people want to know is like where they can see it, because
I want to know, where can we see it?
You got to see it at the Chicano Hollywood Film Festival.
Oh, shit.
17th and
Okay.
20th, I believe. Yeah.
17th through the 20th.
And I believe
yes.
so. I'll double check my facts. I need to be fact checked on that one, but I do believe I saw the post on that. So.
And the films that are being featured at the festival, are they films that are going to be accessible for people to watch, or are they still like working on it? Or
That's the beautiful thing about the film festival circuit, and especially Chicano Hollywood, is because it's all about connection. That it's an opportunity for films that may not go beyond showcasing what they did, but it connects them with a bigger production, someone that needs a director. Some of them are. Some of them will or have been released in theaters. It's a beautiful array of films and feature films. Did you find it?
yeah,
Come on.
Echoes World said right here that it is. It's horchata
See?
with oat milk and Addicted to You.
Oh, see? And we're showing horchata with oat milk. Oh, my gosh. See, right there. Thanks, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Horchata with oat milk and Addicted to You.
I think that, now correct me if I'm wrong, but like when you get the chance to morph into different characters with different storylines, do you think that helps you in that whole process of being like woke and understanding different sides of things? Because relationships and like toxic relationships can be a bit like intense, but you're like pretending to be in one, right? For the movie, for the sake of the movie,
Sure.
which I'm
It's
sure
actually a
is
good
like a
little
learning,
topic.
Yeah.
which I'm sure is like a learning process, right? Like,
You have to train like an athlete. And then you have to do the homework, which is like grammatical. You have to like that. But train like an athlete in the sense that I know I'm going to relive those emotions that have broken me in times of my life, or the ones that have pushed me beyond rage sometimes in my life, and knowing that you have to draw upon those for those situations, but it's still make-believe. So at the end of it, that's what it is. It's knowing a balance. It's knowing just how deep to get into a character and how much of yourself to put in, because at the end of it, you really will have relived that. And even with Addicted to You, they got a different performance out of us, because that was literally more method behind the scenes than I always love filming that way, as much as you can. Sometimes you can't, but we really pushed it as far as the strain on the relationship between the two co-stars, myself, and there was miscommunication, and the director, Christian Elvi Leva, he said, don't say Leva. Leva. Oh, I said I won't say Leva. But yeah.
So were we saying it wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
He
Because
just
leva
reminded.
means something else.
I
no?
know. That's why like when we were on the.
That's why I was laughing.
We were on the Dr. Green Thumb podcast, and we were doing a promo, and he was like, "Don't say Leva." I was like,
Dude,
okay.
I had mad deja
Love and
vu
respect,
right now.
love and
This
respect.
is weird. I feel like we just had this conversation.
Because it was meant to be.
This was mad deja
that,
vu.
that means that you're where you're supposed to be.
Come on.
Mad deja vu. Like we had
love
this
it.
whole conversation right now. It
We
was
already talked
weird.
about
that
this.
was weird.
One big happy family. But yeah, so they separated us. There was communication where I was supposed to be, places where I agreed just for the director not to be, to worsen and heighten it to the point where when we stepped on set, it really was like
Y'all were really
and,
mad.
Yeah, we were fighting. Yeah, it was an apologetic kind of situation. And to make matters worse, the guy that comes in is kind of the apology is kind of cheesy, and I thought it would be funny to get like a bag of gummy bears or something to fit the scene, and I brought them as an apology, and it like pissed her off even more.
Oh damn.
It was good though. Everything came out like it was supposed to, and I'm so happy that I was a part of it.
This was your co-star?
Yeah, Sonia. Yeah.
You guys cool now or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all,
Yeah, 'cause I
yeah.
would imagine like a couple, when you hash it out, you
Yeah.
would let it go, you know? Then you're
Yes.
like,
Girls don't
"Hi,
let
I
things
love
go,
you
though.
too."
Women don't let things go. That's the problem.
No.
You know?
I mean,
He's all
I'm
down.
probably still.
Luckily, it wasn't an actual couple because sex makes things complicated. And that's why
Yeah.
people always get back
Well,
to
and
each
you- and
other.
you-
Maybe there was sexual tension there. Who knows?
Well,
You
you're
know
dealing
what
with such emotional stuff. Come on.
So is the film premiering at the film
No, it's
festival? Or
made its
already
run,
out?
but backed by popular demand. And I
Alright.
think it's a beautiful film that people should see because we, we see all the roles fill what point of view some of us come from these households and the relationships, and now we're all about education and healing mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, understanding ourselves, presenting that, giving the gifts that we have to the world and to our people, to be like, hey, it's like just like I let my daughters know, it's like, watch out because you have this in your bloodline. This is what trips us up. So be careful. These are your strongholds and your generational curses. And
It's crazy
So-
that you recognize it, though.
yeah, well, I'm alive and
That's part of being woke.
Old
That's what I
enough
was
to.
saying. Okay, can we acknowledge just the fact that a lot of people don't think how we have like that
Yeah.
blessing to be able to see things and understand. But there's a lot of people walking out there with their eyes closed, like
Yeah.
totally blind to this shit. You know what I mean? They don't have these talks with their kids. They don't see the curses. They don't. And the first step to changing it is acknowledging it. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
thank you.
I do that with my kids too. I always
And
tell them
it's
that.
like communication.
Yeah.
It's-
Addiction.
I know it's hard, but I just don't see how it's not. I always said, as awkward as the conversation is, like I said, I just have always been one of those people that runs headlong into it. So I'm like, even conversations maybe with my daughters that other people would make awkward, I don't want to do that. So it's like, heads up, here's the question. Or, just
Dang.
a straightforward, like, honestly.
Yeah.
Because communication is key, and every time that I've had a strained relationship or something has happened that's strained on my end from someone else, it's usually because of communication. I always say it's not how something is what's being said, it's how it's said, right? Most
Yeah.
people, or how it's done, how you go about doing things. And so, you live by that. You try to. I still have my days, I used to be the type I cuss and throw my hat and kick up a storm, but now I'm older and a little bit more mellow. You try, you catch yourself quicker.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And catching yourself is important because
Yeah.
sometimes other people won't tell you. You have to catch yourself.
Yeah, and back in the day and how we were raised, it was like celebrated. Hothead.
It was.
Oh, you think that was something? Wait,
Wait till
you
I'm
see
about
what
to top
now.
that.
In the era of what the fuck are you looking at,
Yeah,
bitch?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Boo. We all came from that. Like you had to be hard.
Yeah.
We have Chris Leva. He did this. He said it's lava, and then Echo's World said it's pronounced lava, like Lavy or lava.
I appreciate you guys for watching, man. Really.
I told you I'd talk about you, Chris.
And then we have Angel of Life 2007 that says getting too much into a character can actually change you into the old you. Yeah, if you're not careful, gotta be mindful, right?
It can, but it's like if you have like common sense, if you're careful, if you do, then that is true. I won't take away from that question or that comment, because you have to know what outlets beyond that will sustain you, keep you at peace. I can really go there, but it can drain you. You can, and you know what? If you do, you can't go too far. I think there definitely is a point where I think you go too far as the emotions go, or whatever some of the actors put in, but they take on the responsibility of that. You know,
we're Mexican though. We just do what we do.
Undercover
you know
cops do
Tuck it away. Like that one hurt me.
or maybe on movies they do.
I'm good. But no, I don't have a hard time. I look at the paycheck and I'm like, oh, just got to kill a dude and I get to go home at night.
And I'll get arrested for it. You know what I'm saying?
And even if I do, guess what? I'm getting out at night. Tonight when we wrap, I'm done. But
You ever thought about like giving back to like the kids in the community? Ever like thought about like public speaking or something just to kind of pump them up or anything like
I
that?
do. If my schedule allows and I'm invited, then I most certainly do. There's been sometimes we went out to a facility in San Diego. I was actually with Johnny from Chicano Hollywood, and we got to speak to youths, and we found out they were let out in groups, all young men, and different waves they called them, and they just we had different booths. Different people were, all donating their time and. But we were literally in like the outside, like the yard, and
Like jail, the yard.
Yeah, the yard, for real. And so some of the kids walked up. It was up to them. They could freely walk to where they were, free haircuts, some stuff to eat.
Cool.
We were over there showing them the camera if they wanted to, and then we'd freestyle a scene. And it was something that I don't know. I think like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper, and then we're gonna do movies, and you think you're good, but I don't know if that age I would have literally jumped into it like some of them.
Yeah.
So some did. We jumped in and just made up a premise and we acted it out, and
Just
then,
eager for an outlet.
yeah, that's it. That's so simple. That's
Yeah.
all they need. And some of them we found out were lifers, after the fact. So
Dang, so young, huh?
yeah. So it's important to give back. I definitely, there's a part of me that I really, there's no need to talk about it or like to promote it or anything. But, in my free time, I'm always kind of serving and giving back and doing what I can for me, because that's my side. That's my spiritual walk. And that's important.
That's dope. That's
Chris
keeping
Leva
it
and
low-key
Jeff, you guys should do the mentorship program for kids, huh? Just throwing it out there.
Horchata with tater tots, little tots.
With little tots.
So, do you have anything coming up in the future? Anything going on right now that you're working on that you're going to be coming out with soon, or something you're working
I always
towards?
say more to come. I'm just around in the business. I've learned not to worry about what I'm working on, and yes, behind the scenes, so I look at it like this. You'll always have the studios. I give them respect. They've done so much, and I was out there during the strikes. I walk. It's just important to me to show my love for the union I joined. So I love studio films. I think right now it's more open than ever to combine independent with studios and the streaming platforms, to own your own. There's all room for good relationships to be formed. But then behind the scenes, I look at it as when I get these the big jobs that afford me certain things, the only real thing I'm interested in outside of, just living my life is into the business, which is more production. So I've spoken to several of the people that I work with on a regular. There's going to be more productions coming out that we own, and hopefully we can just get those on more platforms to where the world will watch. And my theory is we can celebrate the hell out of our culture, but the thing is you have to attach a good story that someone's not going to turn off in 5 minutes because they already heard the Spanish music and mariachis and whatever that is. But we tell them stories that hook people where it just happens to be our culture, and we celebrate the hell out of that.
I like that
and,
too.
It's going to bring in more viewers. I remember back in the day, it didn't really matter. We didn't have a choice no matter where we came from. I don't care if it was East LA or if it was Beverly Hills or Compton. When like one movie, two movies dropped, that was it. We all flocked to the theaters
Yeah,
as kids.
about support. It's about
Yeah.
supporting.
And we're in that position now. I think that we can start doing that.
Yeah, you
And
really
we
can.
have been. We've been proving it, but more to come.
So you know, being Chicano, go support. Go support.
Go
Watch the
support.
movies.
Yeah.
Spend the $20, whatever it is. It's just $20, dude. You spend it on fucking weed. No, I'm just kidding.
Come on.
No, you spend it on other things. Come out and support the people that are helping bring the community up to better levels and being seen by more people. But we need the support of everyone, right? Am I right? So yeah.
Absolutely.
If you could work with any actor, who would you want to work with?
You know, I always think of this question.
Dead or alive?
Let's go alive. then. Let's go alive.
You know, I'm still fascinated with Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah,
I
Tom
step
Hardy is
outside.
dope,
I know
though.
everyone's thinking like who's he gonna pick? Like, but no, these character actors, man, these guys that have the ability to morph, they are the real ones that inspired me. And I don't, that breaks all boundaries. Or performances. I love Denzel
Yeah.
Washington.
that's a
I
good
haven't
one.
gotten to work with him. Given the right role or circumstance, then you want to celebrate people in your culture. And it's definitely Edward. I haven't really gotten to work with Emilio Rivera, but me and him have chopped it up a couple times. Like just the guys that there's guys that like have kicked open a door before you and soldiered through.
Yeah.
Like Edward James Olmos, and you do want to work with them, but then there's everyone outside of
He's a
that,
bad
that
dude.
realm where
Yeah.
it's like if they're still around, could I work with them? And it's definitely the Eddie Murphys or
Yeah.
somebody that's doing a movie that Johnny Depp. He was amazing to me because there were so many nights where I'm sitting here running around the streets and in gangster shit. But I go home and watch these movies of other guys that are different characters that I wouldn't have thought that you would ever get the chance to play the role. Or figure out how we go about playing the role. But, there's a series I'm on Netflix called It's Bruno, and I got to play a Dominican dog thief with a dancing son.
I need to go watch it then.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
20-minute shorts. I believe it was nominated for the best short form for an Emmy or Oscar one year.
No way, really?
Yeah,
That's dope.
the year it came out. But that was, then it was Barry from Brooklyn, and you figure out how to do it. And I was over there for like a month and a half living, and I was pounding the pavement, Airbnbs. And
You
so
should be a voice actor too, man.
I've
You're
done,
good at
yeah,
that.
I've
You
done
have?
a little bit, yeah, here or there. I've done a VO or two, but yeah, I've just been having fun. And my entire career, as far as television, it's been amazing. I've been able to fly so many places I never would have seen. Hawaii, Hawaii Five-0, Animal Kingdom, SWAT, Shameless, all those in between.
You were on Shameless?
Oh yeah, man.
I love that
The
show.
You were on
resume
Shameless?
is
That
so
show is
long.
one of my
yeah.
favorite shows.
With
dude.
with Philip, with Lip.
That's
yeah.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, in the motorcycle shop and yeah.
Oh, I remember that part.
yeah, that was me.
Oh shit.
He's telling me about his wet dream and
Dude, I remember that whole scene.
Yeah.
Dude. His girl came in, right?
oh yeah, she was mad.
Yeah, she was pissed off
yeah.
and shit. Yeah, I remember
he got
that.
in trouble for that one. Yeah, but it was
Dude.
amazing. You
Yeah.
find yourself in amazing places. I got to do NCIS top of guest with Mark Harmon, and I got a buddy with Wilmer Valderrama. And
Oh shit.
you can find Home
Fez,
Team.
that dude's funny
Oh,
as shit.
Fez, he was great, and so we worked on every episode is about like 2 weeks, and top of show I was there almost every single day filming on something, downtime getting to talk to him, and really humble person. There's never been anyone, luckily, that I have seen act like a diva.
Yeah, that's cool though.
It is cool.
That
you
is
gotta get
cool
in
because a
there
lot of
and-
them are divas in that
Yeah.
industry, in LA type thing. You know.
Yeah, I've never seen him blow up. I see you get the job done. I love it because you see more of that with maybe the crew because they want to get the shot or they're fighting time. I respect the business. So we're over here like, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I do, but the hustler in me says, people's money is riding on this. This is a business, so you want to be the rock, but can you handle the rock's workload? the schedule.
Yeah.
Like where
He
you gotta
says that
be.
all the time.
What can you do to make it? You want to be great? Be great. Type A Navy SEAL, like the business.
Well, what was your? I know that this is you have a lot of people watching, but what was one of your favorite roles that you got where you were just like surprised that you even got it, and you were like, "Oh, this is like so great! Like this is so fun that I did this role."
Hands down, bro. Hands down. Home Team.
Home Team?
It's on Netflix. It is a Happy Madison movie.
Oh shit!
Starring Kevin James and Taylor Lautner's
What the heck?
in it, and Rob Schneider, Jackie Sandler. The cast is amazing. I got to spend almost 3 months in New Orleans filming with them, and it was a change in my career because not only did I have my son was accepted, he was playing football for Fresno State, but that kind of helped me. I got a role as a football dad on that movie, and it was just great picking up jewels from the entire cast, being a part of it, working around, like surviving through 2020 and making it through the strikes.
Those guys are great, man.
But
The Happy Madison co-crew they're just Kevin James, all those guys, man. They're hilarious.
And then that was another one where I took the liberty. I'm working on this character, Calvin. He's the father of one of the kids, and I was like, it's Texas, it's East Texas, so guess what? I'm not gonna do the Spanish accent. If everybody else can talk like they're from Texas, so can I. So I started saying that Calvin's my boy. I'm one of those new guys that you don't know, but we're out here, and I'm a good Southern boy, and Calvin is a quarterback. And so, Canane brothers were great. They went with it, and
That sounds so awesome, dude, to do that. Like congratulations.
yeah,
dude.
take the chances, not get shut down. There were strict regulations because it was just coming out of COVID. I think it was 2021 when we filmed, and so I had my own car when I wanted, and just going to some of the locations. There were different parishes outside of New Orleans for football stadiums, and I always tell the story of like I was just driving through, and it's just trees, and then you get out the clearing, and it's all this production, all these people, all these tents, the scale of the production, and you get to be part of it. You earned your way there, and it's for those minutes where all of that like is on you. The camera's there, and it's funny because when I first got in the business, I'd go to the mixers and social situations and sweat and get in the corner and kind of like. But now I can perform in front of thousands of people. I do the role. I take it seriously. I love what I do, and I want to inspire people. And man, the dream is being lived over here. Gracious, like I'm really
Good for
grateful
you.
and humbled, and yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That's so cool. Like it's so cool to see somebody just kind of grow that way. Because growing up, like I kind of feel like it just wasn't. We have to force ourselves to be that person to like push outside of the box. Because everybody's like, "What are you doing?" Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like we just have to make it happen.
Yeah.
It's up to us.
No
You know what
excuse. I mean, hopefully you'll have. I'm not just saying that like I climbed the mountain all by myself. There's been people from letting you crash somewhere all the way up to someone that opened the door for you, literally, for maybe one casting person that got you in the door. Someone that did call you back, someone that did think of you or include you, someone, there's always people there that are kind of like, will do that, or the inspiration at the right time. I always say just one more day. And so that's my advice to anyone is just like, whatever you're going through, just one more day. You never know what you're here for. And I'm not just one of the guys that was like, hey, yeah, I made it through the 90s. Everything's kind of cool. Yeah. I was like, no, I should not be here. Hands down. And that's the one thing that's beautiful is when I tell my story, when people hear it, when they see the fallen soldiers, the family, the friends, the sacrifices, what you've done to keep your car together, like those cartoon cars under speed that are flapping and the rivets are popping, and that's what it takes to make it. That's the years where I didn't give up, where not just me, and I'm not special, it's the same people with the same integrity and grit, determination. Can you survive? Can you survive? You want it, can you survive? And and I love what I do, so more to come.
So, dude, we already went a little over, so I want to ask you one more question.
No worries.
Before we go. So if you can strip away everything you've done, man, from everything you've done, from acting, all that, and tell these people, who are you deep inside? Who are you?
I am a man who enjoys everything I feel that human beings are supposed to. I feel love. I feel sadness. I feel anger. I feel so many things that now I live in. There are things that are wrong in my life. There's so much more that's right in my life. I believe that I say when someone says, "What are you doing now? What's new?" I say the same thing. I'm always changing. I'm always in pursuit of something that shows me how beautiful the world is. There's evidence if you stop and look around. So I'm a guy. I'm literally a guy that is just here experiencing everything comfortably that there is. Even on the bad days now, my perspective is nothing good comes from, can come if you don't have the bad. Then what is good? So it is. And I know it sounds cheesy, but like I'm nothing like, we dress up, we do this. I have style. I love feeling good. Go out, take vacations, go to nice restaurants, live the life. Do for your kids what you couldn't do, set them up for success. And if you can't and you're struggling, keep going because everyone's cheering them on. And that's the household I came from, single parent on welfare. But literally the definition is I'm just this guy who finally is strong enough to survive externally and strong enough to survive internally. It's just here enjoying and giving my gifts, and I'm happy doing everything that I'm doing and meeting people all the time and connecting because that's the only thing that's really going to save us is the connection,
Amen to that shit.
Yep.
We appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you.
You killed
my
it
pleasure.
today,
No, my
dude.
pleasure. I
was
can't
nice
wait till
having you.
next time.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
got to do this again.
Yeah.
Our slogan. Go ahead and do the thing.
So our slogan is "Shed the sheep." So we're gonna look at the camera and say "Shed the sheep."
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Shed
Shed
the
the sheep. Howls over Baaz.
Come on.
I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Cat Baby.
I'm Anthony L. Fernandez.
And we appreciate you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps us grow. And we are out. Peace.
Peace.